Hey, collective. Okay, so we have some real tea bubbling after Diddy's sentencing. I got some requests to do a reading on this. It's been almost a year since I last tuned into his energy. Now we're seeing a full spiritual unraveling. Okay, so the headlines are screaming convicted, sentenced, appeals underway, but beneath it all is far darker. Okay, so who's safe, who's complicit, and what's the revenge blueprint when a king is taken down? I don't think that this is just about a court case. There could be some spiritual warfare here. So let's start with the facts, okay? So we know that the energy that we're reading is Diddy. Let me put this little disclaimer up here real quick, though. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Don't sue me. He was considered to be convicted for 2 federal counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, I think, under the Mann Act after a lengthy trial, okay? He was also acquitted on the more serious charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking, which would have been under the RICO. Okay, so they couldn't convict him on the full RICO case, but the verdict suggests that there was something the jury couldn't fully stomach. Like the judge even allowed acquitted conduct, whatever that means, to influence sentencing. So he was sentenced to 50 months, I think, which is equivalent to 4 years and 2 months, plus a $500,000 fine, which I don't even know if he has any of that, and 5 years of supervised release. Okay, so his lawyers are already appealing everything, alleging that the judge overstepped and acted as a 13th juror, which, okay, by punishing him for conduct that he was already acquitted on. Okay, so let's move on to these questions. I did pull some cards just to do a little pre-shuffle of the overall energy, and the 3 cards that came out, and I'm pulling from the celebrity deck that you guys like. The 3 cards that came out for the overall energy were serpent magic, using snake spirits, or yes, using snake spirits to influence, poison, or deceive targets. Okay. We have the humiliation ritual card, and then the scapegoat, blame for problems beyond their control. Now, this is what's kind of funny that this would come out for this reading, because I do feel like on some level, Diddy was used as a scapegoat. People have equated him to kind of be like the hip hop version of Epstein, and his associates and the people that he was connected to pretty much kind of like abandoned him during this whole trial. So the fact that they kind of let him walk from the RICO charges, or didn't find evidence, or they're not disclosing what that evidence that they found on him, I do find that to be interesting. This being a humiliation ritual could be because of the fact of some of the dealings in business that he made. He could have pissed somebody off. This is something that we've picked up before. And this serpent magic thing is kind of interesting too, because I do feel like he has used some nefarious dark energy to implant kind of different thoughts or ideas about who he is. Even this could also relate to how he was able to get off with such a lenient sentence. I think it's lenient. I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments legally if the things that he was convicted of outside of that RICO, is this a sentence that makes sense for the crime, or is this kind of like low? Okay, so let's move on to the questions that I have for him. Which of Diddy's former collaborators or associates is spiritually marked next? Okay, so we already have a card that flew out, but I'm going to keep shuffling. Which of Diddy's former collaborators or associates is spiritually marked next? All right, so we have soul searching or soul selling contracts, someone who's made deals with dark forces for worldly gain, posed for symbolism. Okay, and then we have handler involvement suspected. Okay, now we know that there have been talks about how he has said that Jay-Z was one of his closest associates. He's the only person that allows him to call him Sean. They both have the same name. And he's also talked about Jay-Z being like his cleanup man, like he's the person that helps him deal with problems, or he's the first person that he calls. So I don't know if this is relating to him or someone else, but it's obviously somebody with a soul selling contract who posed for symbolism. So that could be like in the form of an actual photo, and who may have some type of handler involvement here. So, okay. Did the judge receive influence from hidden energy, like political, financial, spiritual? Like, is there some tampering going on in delivering this sentence? Ew, we have a few cards that are trying to come out. The first one that's out is secretly insecure despite outward confidence. Staged suicide. Secretly insecure despite outward confidence. Staged suicide. Okay, maybe there was something involving the judge and he felt like his life was in danger for something. I don't know. Industry secrets just popped out. Underneath the deck, we have industry handler again. So there's some type of handler here. So I don't know if there's somebody who's working on the outside for Diddy, who's kind of like maybe making the rounds with people who could be involved with the case, that could be, influencing people to do certain things. They have kind of been saying that that's something that was happening with Gina. Remember, there was also the girl Jane Doe. She never revealed her name, but we also know about like Cassie Ventura. They were many survivors that pretty much spoke on behalf of, their incidents. Their safety is never really guaranteed in these types of storms. But their names are definitely carved into this case energetically, and there may be some ripple effects from it. So let's see, are these women spiritually protected right now? Did they request any shields? No, that's too many. Come on now. Are these women spiritually protected? We have group energy, multiple people involved. Okay. And this is next to industry handler. Underneath the scapegoat. Spiritual guru persona embodies the Zen or spiritually enlightened person, shares beliefs to fans, projects wisdom and peace, could be masking turmoil or a deeper struggle. This could lean to him, or I don't know. I'm also figuring that this could be talking about Russell Simmons. Are these women safe? Group energy. I don't know if that means that they're safe. This could also just be talking about them being a group in general. This is a co-headliner or supporting role. Okay, so this person, whoever this co-headliner is or supporting role, it seems like there could be somebody who has invested interest about Diddy getting out sooner rather than later. So they could be helping. This could be somebody who may have some financial ties to him in some way. I don't know. That's all speculation right now. Confused just flew out. Confused flew out underneath handler involvement. Suspected. High profile reporter validates the claims. Okay. I don't know if there have been recent reports about certain things like this. Please let me know in the comments, because I haven't really been following this case. I barely knew what he got sentenced to. I had to look that up. But let's see. Let's look into this next question. What else did I want to ask? Are the victims, is there danger for them going in public or going public? Mousetrap. On record interview. Okay. On record interview and then astral projection during event. This mousetrap is what's crazy. Okay, this is coming underneath the staged suicide. Okay, so I don't know if someone could have been involved with staging something like that, or if these people are in danger for that, if that's what they're worried about. Does Diddy have a revenge plan queued up for when he's released is the issue. Does he have a revenge plan? New queen and king to be crowned. Oh, wait a minute. Hollywood occult work, dark magic and entertainment, fame, spells, and energy harvesting. There is a lot of weird industry energy here. Like, there's a lot of industry cards. One. Too many handler cards. Group energy, new king and queen. Okay, so you know how they say Jay-Z and Beyonce are the king and queen of hip hop, right? So for some reason, I feel like that card is pointing to them for some reason, because I can't think of anybody else who would be at the top like that. We have NDA trap. Silence is golden, but what secrets does it bury? Vegas industry or residency. Who had a Vegas residency? Who had a Vegas residency? Oh, Usher. Usher had a Vegas residency not too long ago. Catalog wars, your work, their money. Recording wars, legacy preservation, big payout. Okay. Okay. I don't know where this is going. This energy does feel very scattered. Does Diddy have a revenge plan for when he is released? Clarity, please. Oh, God. All these cards. All right. The petition. An artist seeks justice, legal reform, power, and balance. He could have tried to get like some petition, or this could be talking about the people who had to write like character letters for him, you know, to kind of plead to the judge. Young Miami, I think, did that. Gina did that. I don't know who else did that. New timeline jump, distorted time came out. Ecstasy card, ultimate joy, euphoria, bliss, and joy. Okay. And then we have PR-driven charity work for image and media attention, not genuine intentions. Okay, so he could have gotten people to talk about like the things that he's done for the community, talk about his accomplishments as far as like maybe him helping other people as a way to kind of get off. And that's part of what helped him, which I think is a crazy thing to be able to do. Just because somebody is like vouching for your character at one point in time, that is one aspect of who you are. We still saw that video. That video is so impermeated in my mind and memory about who he actually truly is. I don't care about anything else that he's done, you know, which is terrible, but it's the truth. I don't really see him as being a nice individual. Okay, what contract is being fulfilled in his downfall? Who else is bound to it? Group operates underground. This is a motive card. Group operates underground. So again, we're seeing something about like group energy, group involvement. We have that other handler involvement suspected. Okay, so that's also another motive card. There's some other people, obviously, but this reading is telling me that there is a group of people who are still connected to this situation. Okay, and it would be in their best interest that he gets off. But at the same time, I wonder if that is how it works. Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Maybe it's not in his best interest to get off sooner. Because maybe the longer he stays in there, the safer they are. Or is that how he gets a more lenient sentence? Because again, if this sentence is not normal, if it's actually lower than what would be considered for another person, and they use these character letters as a way to kind of get him off, like how did they do that? Because it seems like there's got to be some other things going on behind the scenes. Maybe he offered up information about somebody. Mystery role teaser hints at secretive new project. Mystery role teaser. Okay, I don't know if somebody's coming out with something new. Or maybe that's the plans. Maybe he has a plan of when he comes out. Eclipsed by a rising star. Fresh face takes the spotlight from a seasonal figure. I don't know who that is. Protecting someone else is a motive card. They just flew out. He could be protecting someone else. Maybe not exposing somebody else's tea is also helping his situation. I don't know. Maybe they're helping him to cover up his spot. I don't know what's going on there. Now, we also know that in every fall of power, there's always like these Judas figures around, associates that have been waiting to kind of betray people, right? So who among Diddy's trusted will turn first? Are there other people that are going to turn on him? Collaborators, maybe managers, other artists who will be complicit in covering or enabling this whole thing? I don't know. Underneath the deck, we have one hit wonder, casting director, arbiter of opportunities and roles. Okay, so there could be something going on with ties to Hollywood. This one hit wonder situation, I'm picking up on Mace for some reason. I don't know. There's plenty of other one hit wonders or people who didn't have like an extensive career because of him at Bad Boy. So I don't know if there's other people that may have come out, or maybe that has played a role in the sentencing, or maybe not even the sentencing, just the trial in general, hearing from people. Okay, so what else? Was the judge showing leniency because Diddy's allies are powerful? Is it because he's a prominent figure, faking wealth or living beyond their means, dealing with struggles, debts, or legal issues? And then we have paid media silence. Paid media silence. Now, I always wondered why we weren't invited into this case, like in the court, why it was never televised. There could be something here about that as well. Like maybe it was in, maybe somebody paid off the judge to also make that decision, because there's no reason why we shouldn't know about this. There could be so much more of a media circus around this case, and it really hasn't. Like we've had moments to be able to forget about it, kind of, while he was in prison. There were, and before, like people were making court appearances, and of course it was like a big case. Law and Crime had their little AI setup, which was really good. I've talked about that before, but I also just feel like we should have had actual cameras, because now all we're getting is word of mouth kind of descriptions, third-party descriptions about what happened. Short term just flew out. Underneath that, social media status change, and the bodyguard. Oh, Gene, maybe some other bodyguards. I know there was another bodyguard that said something. Mutually beneficial connection just flew out, and then the crossroads cards. Turning point, fork in the road, major decision. New tech venture announcement, but this came out on the reverse. Innovative steps into the future of media and entertainment. So I did say something about possibly having a new project in the works. He could maybe even come up with like a documentary to kind of refute some of the things that came out, because 4 years can kind of happen. Like before you know it, it could be 4 years, right? And he can go back to normal if he has the right money, whatever. We can almost act like this didn't happen. Now, how he moves after that is the biggest question. Like, how is he going to move? Because again, with these spiritual ecosystems, when a figure who's held like a lot of power through coercion is removed, I feel like there's just always this backlash from associates, former allies, and even ghosted legacies that I feel like are going to surface. So what is the future? What is the future? Are there others in his circle who will be indicted or pressured next, politically or maybe spiritually? We have fake death rumor. Okay, there is a lot about like unalivements, stage suicide, and mousetrap. Then we have two more motive cards. Insurance policy in play, personal vendetta. Okay, there could be something that has happened on the outside, right? With someone who used to be maybe close to him, and there could have been something planned that didn't go through or something. Okay, I don't know. I'm not really picking strongly up on that whole situation. Underneath the deck, we have fake story fed to the media. All right. There also could be something about this story that is not being told correctly. I'm not saying he didn't do these things, but the scapegoat card coming out in the beginning, I do feel like there is something about that, like maybe putting way too much on Diddy. Yes, he's done some terrible stuff, but I'm saying maybe there could be putting more emphasis on him for a reason that we just don't know yet, okay? Because we still have this serpent magic card out here too, okay? Will Diddy seek to expose those who abandon him, like the celebrities, the business partners, the proteges? Is anybody going to seek to, or is Diddy going to seek to expose those people? Okay, we have rebel, goes against societal norms, often defies expectations, and then a celebrity involvement in true crime case. Okay, this came out in the reverse. The celebrity involvement in true crime case. I don't know. I don't know what that means. He could, you know what? He might be one of those type of people that it's like he knows what people's tea is, and he might just want to use that against them later. Like, I'll let you slide right now, but if you do this, and that would probably be the smart way to come back. If he's lost a lot of financial opportunities or business deals or whatever in this last couple of years, there could be something about him being able to leverage certain things against other people as a way to rebuild himself. Okay, so does he have a spiritual reset plan? Does he have a spiritual reset plan, like a return with this vengeance thing? On and off, on again, off again, repeatedly breaking up and getting back together. I don't know who that has to do with. Exclusive tabloid scoop. Okay. And then underneath, we have award show committee voting scandal. I don't know. I'm picking up on the Grammys. Exclusive tabloid scoop. On and off again. Repeatedly breaking up. Is that in reference to Cassie? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. I don't know how this is coming up. Okay. Is Diddy going to be broken, fragmented, and lose his capacity to retaliate? This is my last question. Is he going to be broken, fragmented, and lose his capacity to retaliate? We have a global conspiracy exposed. Underneath, we have career sabotage, someone preventing or stifling another's career growth. Okay. And then underneath that is death faked, person in hiding. Did someone go in hiding? I don't know of anybody going in witness protection, but again, they wouldn't tell us if they did. So the career sabotage, though, I don't know if this is like him trying to do that with other people. We know that he tried to do that with Cassie, or if this is about them trying to do that to him. But this global conspiracy exposed, this card came out in the reverse, which tells me that there could be some things that come out, but then it also seems like, again, there's going to be a lid on something because it would just be too much fallout. Okay. So we could be living through a spiritual reckoning, not just a legal one. Diddy's sentencing could be a stage in a bigger war, and we got to stay awake. Okay. Because I don't think we're seeing it all play out with just him. What I want from you guys, though, is share in the comments. Do you think Diddy's associates are safe, or are the vultures circling right now? Because they know that they could be living on borrowed time. So I'm going to put a community poll, or you guys can just kind of like put it in the comments. Let me know, what side are you on? Are you about like the vengeance or silence? And if you're ready for it, I'll probably drop an update to this at some point just to see if we can pull on some of the hidden players and maybe if there's any spiritual assassins behind this fall, because there was too much going on as far as like death was concerned. Okay, so if you like this reading, please make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. If you guys are finding my channel again, I really do appreciate the follow. Let's keep up on all of these new things. Okay, I love you. I'll see you in the next one.